Commissioners meeting, Wednesday, March 19th, 2025. Two of the commissioners are present. I don't see Skip yet. I think he'll be joining us via...
Oh, you can't see anybody yet.
I can know. I'm on, so I
Oh,
can
you're,
see.
oh, okay.
So,
We have Kim and Doug on.
yeah, you have Kim and Doug right now at this point. So, first up is public comment, and I'm gonna zoom right through that because I know everybody that's here is not public. I'm gonna continue on to elected officials and department heads. Kim, do you have anything for me today?
I do not, believe it or not.
Oh, all right, thank you. Doug, do you have anything today for us?
I do. I wanted to let you know that Major McLaughlin and I had a meeting about renegotiating our IGA or intergovernmental agreement on the rates for housing and transport. We had that yesterday. It went well and it was approved and will be effective May 1st. That should result in about $250,000 a year in additional revenue.
Great.
Between per diem housing rate and the increase in hourly rate for transport officers.
So what's that new rate?
$120 a day for housing and $40 an hour for transport officer time.
It's currently 105 a day.
But $40 is still isn't too much.
Per hour?
Well, for a vehicle and a,
Yeah,
and a person.
but it's an increase.
That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
incremental.
And remember, we've led the way for years.
Harry, I felt pretty good about it after 14 years.
Yeah.
I thought that was an accomplishment.
Yeah, it was, and the good thing is we couldn't do anything for a while because we were the top, you know? And then
Yeah.
all of a
How do you
sudden,
complain,
Merrimack
right?
came in at a rate that was competitive and others, you know, so it was, we were able to then move forward with it. So that's a great thing. Good job, Doug. Thank you very much.
It is a 3-year minimum agreement. It'll renew. I would think it's worth looking at this more often than every 14 years. That where, you know, but what you said, Chris, is true in the market based on what other local jails in both New Hampshire and Vermont, what their rates were. We were in that ballpark until just recently, and when some of them were getting increases. But yeah, just the 3-year rate, and I think we offer great service, and Vermont had spoken very positively in favor of us getting that because our home district is New Hampshire, and they're the ones we're really talking to about that. Based on what we do for them, they didn't necessarily have a direct appreciation for what we offer, but Vermont was a part of their research process, and they were very complimentary.
So is that the same rate for a SUV as it is for the bus?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what that's the rate for wages for one officer. So it's double that for 2-officer transport. All federal inmates are 2-officer transport.
I just. All right, well, thank you. And to catch you up, Skip, Skip has now joined the meeting, and we got approved for increases in daily rates for our federal inmates, which is a good thing.
Yeah, what did it go up to?
What's the exact amount again?
$120 a day.
Is that 105?
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Which he said would accumulate in about a $250,000 increase in revenue over the year. So that's a good thing.
Very well, thank you.
All right, anything else, Doug?
No, that's it for me. Thanks.
All righty. All right, gonna move forward. We do not have any schedule, well, wait, is Suzanne on?
She will be right back. She does have an update.
Yeah, she has an update, which is a good update, but we'll get back to that in a second. Anna, do you have anything for us?
She doesn't have a microphone and nothing to add.
Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna move on. And Suzanne, when Suzanne jumps on, I'll cut to her. So my report starts with, of course, the delegation meeting on Monday at 7 o'clock here. The leadership will be meeting at about 5:15 in my office. Kathy Harbin and Barry, just to go over the agenda for the meeting. We did already meet with Kathy Harvey last week, just to, what we normally do, just prepare for the meeting. And at 6 o'clock, the executive committee will meet as they, for the sheriff's dispatch, which I'll get into in a second, ratified the contract, sheriff and the dispatch. So they need to be made aware of that's going to be added into the overall budget. And we can talk about that in 2 seconds. Suzanne is here, so I'm going to cut back to you, Suzanne.
I just wanted to give you all a brief update on the USDA grant, which originated in 2022 as an application to Senator Shaheen's office under the congressionally directed spending requests for improvements to the barn on the Maplewood nursing home property. Those improvements were intended at the time to be those envelope improvements that were just recently completed. But obviously there was a delay in the funding. It just went through numerous hurdles and evolved over time into now an equipment grant. So we will be spending the $112,000 before the end of September of next year on various types of equipment, everything from refrigerators to shelving to desks, those types of things, furniture fixtures, for creating an educational center out of the barn. So now that the envelope is taken care of, we have a separate project, also grant funded, is the solar panels. And so this will basically complete the project. We'll probably have it all done this summer, as soon as they say go.
Right.
Not hard to spend.
Yeah.
Not hard to
The
spend.
project itself is just about completed, but they're going between the renovation of the apartments at assisted living and the Red Barn, so they're just working on that and completing that. And this, just for historical purposes so that you all know, we actually, we applied for this congressional direct spending request, and we worked for years. 2 years, 3 years.
Because we applied for it in 2022.
Right, so we worked with these guys, and we finally made the call. I just went to the commission and said, I'm gonna turn the money down, because that 112 actually was gonna be a 40 net gain because of all that they were asking. It was costing us about $80,000 to do the historical study, to do the environmental study.
Thank you.
And all this, and we just had enough. So we turned it down, and then about 2 months, 3 months later, they came back to us and said, well, what if we went this way? They didn't want to not give the money up, but we sort of won the battle here on this one, because we just stood our ground and said, and we met, I got very frustrated and just said, we need to meet with your superior. So we met with the superior and laid it all out to them, and it's
Good feedback for them. Very inefficient program.
Yeah, and so we really worked them through it, and then at the end of the day, even after this meeting with the supervisors, we just went to the commission and said, we can do what we need to do with the $300,000 that we already had for this project. And so, let's do that.
Yeah.
And then they came back to us, and so now this is a good opportunity for us to utilize those funding sources.
It also, as an equipment grant, as opposed to construction, it does not have a match. Whereas the construction did have a complex match that went along with it. So I think our lesson learned is USDA not so good for construction, but a very complex process, but maybe for things other than construction.
And the crazy thing is the individual lives here in Keene,
Yeah,
lives on this street.
yeah,
And we were having communication issues.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, what are the odds?
Yeah. So neither here, they're not trying to dump on anybody, we were just very frustrated.
Very
But Suzanne
frustrating.
stuck with it, and, you know, Steve Horton and myself, we worked through it, and so here we are today. It's a good thing. I think it's only gonna take what we had hoped for to the next level, and that is to really take a look at other groups utilizing this, you know, whether it's Antioch, whether it's the Cheshire County Conservation Commission, or whatever it may be, or schools that have wanted to do in the past. So we're excited by that, or us having a meeting out there.
Will there be a fee for use for that?
In the past, we haven't utilized that way, but we've talked about it in the past. The commissioners, like this building, we haven't had a fee on this building because it's the citizens' building. And so out there, we could do that.
If a corporation wanted to use it? That's, I'm not looking at, you know,
Nonprofit.
constituents, right, nonprofits, yeah, that's what our money
Yeah,
is
we
for,
could,
but,
we could do that.
yeah.
You know, if a corporation wanted to,
I
yeah.
mean, that's just a different kind of opportunity.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we're still gonna be able to use the upstairs for storage, right?
Yeah, we didn't do anything to the upstairs.
But I mean, there's still gonna be stairs that you can bring.
Yeah, yep.
Okay,
What's up
good.
there?
Just nothing.
If we could put office space up there if we chose to.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we could actually, one of the thoughts was, at some point, if we had enough money, which was probably closer to $1.2 million, is do the whole thing over and put UNH Cooperative Extension out there, forestry, you know. And it just was an idea that we pushed around, but at this point, this is the first step. We'll see how it goes. Thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah, Cheryl, I'll reach out to you separately about making sure that it's in the budget. Thank you. May I
And when you
give one
say
other?
separately to make sure it's in the budget.
Well, we'll need to have an account number, but I think because we considered it like, oh, we're never gonna get these funds, and we dismissed them. We'll have to make sure that is covered for you.
Do you have a just-in-case line in 2025?
Of course.
So I would say that you just pull it from there,
We'll probably go from there, yeah.
yeah, and then create a line like you have in the past.
Yep. I'll do it.
And then if you get more coming through, that your just-in-case line runs out, we can amend the budget in August.
Sounds good. Very good. All right.
Thank you so much.
One really quick other update on my class, because Claudia was asking about it, and I was briefly telling her before the meeting, so I'll let you all know. We have maxed out. I've never exceeded 14 before, but when I kept seeing the registrations come in, I went and counted the tables and found some in the closet. So we have more tables than I thought, which was the main reason for capping it at 14. So I've opened it to 18, and the class is full even at 18, with another 3 or 4 people on the waiting list who meet all the eligibility, and an additional 3 or 4 on the waiting list who don't meet all the eligibility. So this will be the largest class ever,
Okay.
and it's already full.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, and the most recent person to sign up was saying
Thank you.
that Terry had referred her.
Yeah, well, I made the mistake of mentioning it on Facebook.
Oh, Facebook.
And it created a page. I don't know how, an event.
Oh, I see.
So
Oh,
I've been getting
interesting.
inundated by, like people. So just call Suzanne.
Don't you
Call
know
Suzanne.
technology is not
Wow,
your
for
friend?
somebody
Suzanne.
without Facebook, I've never gone viral before. Thank you,
Well, I didn't
Terry.
put your picture though.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, I'll have to let you all know how it goes, but so far, that's quite the turnout it's gonna be. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna, so again, in reference to the delegation meeting, it leads up to the 7 o'clock meeting. And we'll go from there. We have an agenda for the meeting, really it's about adopting the budget. As you're aware, the delegation, the leadership did not want to meet about this. They just want to have, looks like, further discussion about just discussion. Is all I can think of at this point. I really don't know what it is. Actually, as we're sitting here, John Hunt called me, so I'll call him back later on and see what he wants. But,
And
we did our due diligence with that, and the only one that really wanted to meet was Kathy Harvey. So,
Good.
all right, gala tonight, so for those that are attending, 5:30 is when the doors open. It goes until, that first portion of the evening goes until about between 6:30 and 6:45. Then the awards, occur, and then after that, we are, going home. So I would say 8:30 is what you were probably looking at when people speaking. So just want to make you aware.
Where's parking for that?
Well, the Keene State students, Keene State College is not in session,
Okay.
so
they have spring break.
they have spring break, and so it's right there in that parking lot. You can park.
There's
You
an
can park
owl,
on
there's an
any,
owl up
by
on the
the
building.
gymnasium, or you can
On
park on
Winchester
the other
Street.
side on Winchester Street. And I would park on the Winchester Street side because it's the easiest way to get in and out.
That's helpful.
Yeah,
And then you just kind of
you
walk
walk,
through that
you
little
walk up,
walkway
and
and
then
you're gonna
Zorn
see
Zorn
it.
Dining is the big glass building.
Yeah.
Just follow your nose.
And that,
And remember, if you're hungry, eat during that hour and a half,
Oh, the food's good.
because there is no sit-down dinner.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, what it is, you're kind of, it's a little obvious, because there's stations all over
Yeah.
the place of food being different.
Thank you.
Yeah.
that's sort of grazing.
I like grazing, thank
Me
you.
too.
Yeah,
Although it is an overeating opportunity.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's all it is.
yeah. So, I've just handed you a document. It is a petition I've been asked to sign, but I don't sign anything, and I would ask that I don't need, I can sign it, but if you all wanted to sign it either with me or you sign it on our behalf, it is a House Bill 316 is opposed by the New Hampshire Fire Chiefs Association, the New Hampshire Municipal Association, and the New Hampshire Ambulance Association. Of course, House Bill 316 is the bill introduced by John Hunt that, Senator Prentice has brought forward a bill saying that ambulance costs for private insurance should be at 325% increase. John has said 195% increase. They're saying that doesn't even hit it. Both of them sound like a lot. But if we go back to what Cheryl had brought up a while back, and that is, we had a BLS call, basic life support, life-saving situation, and that was $1,900 and change. We billed that out through our billing agency. We got a check for $380 some odd, which was about 16% of what the total cost was. We know that Medicaid, correct me if I'm wrong, Medicaid pays 22%. So they were paying, on the insurance, a private insurance company was paying less than Medicaid, one. They sent the rest of it to the person that was, transported.
Which is the balancing.
And the balance, right, and balance billing, and that person pushed back. We got a check for $1,600 in change. They asked for the $300 back, which we sent back because all of a sudden we went from 16% to 84% of the bill. If you look at the math, the 325 doesn't even it gets them to about 1,200. So we even still are getting less than what they should be paying. And so that is the issue that we're facing. Berlin, I think I said this last week, but if I didn't, Berlin just lost their ambulance portion of service, all around funding. We've seen this time and time again. I was told by Don Bliss, who has been working with us through MRI, the company that we use to work with the fire services, that they've been contracted in Grafton County to take a look at ambulance services up there because they have two failing agencies up there. It's a different situation where it may be that the county doesn't take something over, but they fund something. In our situation, we didn't have that alternative because it was too far gone. So I would like to have you guys read this. I don't need to, you can take this home if you want, but or you can you can say, you can do many things. We can have a motion. We don't need a motion. You want to sign
I'm
it?
ready to sign it right now, myself.
I'll send you the actual link to it, so you'll fill it out digitally.
But when you
So
have,
when-
when you have the fire, New
That's
Hampshire
just for
Fire
you.
Chiefs
Yeah.
Association, the New Hampshire Municipal Association, and the New Hampshire Ambulance Association all saying the same thing.
Right,
You know, it's a game within a game, and that's the problem that we're having. The insurance companies can pay more. They don't have to pay more, because what Cheryl said to me is, in these situations where they only pay $300, about only 1/3 of those people push back. So the rest of them don't. It just goes, no one pays anything, and everybody loses. Well, we
Right.
lose out. So it is maddening that if we wouldn't be in this situation if they just paid their bills. But it's a financial thing, and it's wrong. And if they paid their bills, it wouldn't be 195% increase, and it wouldn't be a 325, it'd be closer to a 200 and something. You know, where they would be paying. It just saddens me that.
yeah, we can, I'm happy to sign it.
Okay,
Okay, I'll send you
So
that
when
this
we
morning.
sign it, we're signing it as commissioners.
correct.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah, I think
very
that'd
much
be
so.
more-
Yeah, nobody's gonna know who we are without that,
Right.
just a random
Oh,
citizen.
speak for yourself.
I hear that you're infamous.
I know! For being batshit crazy, I'm so loving that.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure, and if with you signing it, I can sign it if you want me to, but I don't do anything like that unless I get your approval. So you just have to.
So, here's the thing, it does carry more weight if the three of us sign it and you do as well.
Okay,
It'll be different because by not signing it, then you're saying you're taking a
division.
neutral position on it.
yeah.
That you're not 100% all in,
Well,
and
my first
we are
instinct was to
100%.
sign it, but my process is I
Right.
can't sign it unless I bring it to you.
Yeah, so, but I think
So let's
that
make
it's
a
more
motion and-
important, right,
Let's make a motion.
Do you need a motion?
Do we?
I'd like it in the records.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, so you have something fashioned and
I,
happen to have.
now do you want it
something
just for me or for all three?
All three,
All four, I should
yeah,
say.
all four of us.
Would a motion to sign the House Bill opposition petition presented by the New Hampshire Fire Chiefs Association, New Hampshire Municipal Association, and the New Hampshire Ambulance Association, then with the commissioners and county administrators signing that document.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Clark? Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
And Commissioner DiBernaro?
Yes.
All right, let's move on. Thank you very much.
And I just sent it, so it should be at the top of all of your emails.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, so how do
We do it
handle this?
online.
You do it online, they didn't put it in place.
He sent a link, we just sign it online.
And it's just your name, I think it's in there, but your name, your title, your email, and your phone number.
Yeah.
Take you 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And if you want, actually, I'm happy. If
Fill it
works,
in
I'm
for
happy
all
to-
of us.
I'm happy to, if you're
Do
fine with
mine.
that.
I
Yeah.
have to look up my email address all the time.
Yeah, then I'm happy to, are all three, do you want me to sign it
Well, I
on your
mean,
behalf?
we're not signing it as individuals, I thought, I thought we're supposed to.
Well,
Right.
Well, the title's underneath.
Right,
Yeah,
So you want 3 different submissions as
Correct.
commissioners?
sure.
So I
Four.
will-
Right.
Four.
You want me to
Yeah.
do yours?
Why
Yeah.
not? You're doing it.
I'd be happy to.
And make sure, no, don't say,
The auto pen.
don't say county,
Cheshire
Commissioner
County.
Cheshire County.
Yep. I will get that
are we
done for you
using
this
the
morning.
auto pen?
Please do.
Absolutely, thank you. Yep.
All the time.
Yeah, I mean, I have, I guess I guess I'll never touch that again, or everything's invalid. I'm kidding, for the record, every commissioner has always signed every physical document
There we go,
forever.
exactly, I know.
So, just a reminder that, as I said earlier, the sheriff's deputies and the dispatch union did ratify the agreement.
That's a pleasant surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, we were having
It
trouble with
was,
that.
we thought up to the vote, I mean, I was actually standing in the hallway prior to the vote and talking to the field rep for the union. And she's like, I really don't have a read on this, and it was 100% in favor of. So for those who were voting, it was 100%, so it carried through, so.
How many didn't vote, roughly speaking? I mean,
I don't have that number,
Yeah, and they don't have many.
yeah.
right to begin
Yeah.
with, so.
But I know that people were coming in.
Okay.
I know that much. I saw some off-duty people coming in that were just coming in for the, there was a quick meeting prior where they had both the field rep and a higher up and really talking about where things are and why we're doing. Remember, we looked at this in two separate bodies. And they went for it, so that's good. So, you know, the increases,
Oh, no, we don't say it out loud yet.
no, yeah, because it can't. That's a good catch. We can't do that until after it's ratified by
Correct.
our body, or voted on by our body, so that's good. But I did have it, I was ready.
I know.
That's unusual for me. Stratford County, I don't know if you've read in the paper, but Stratford County for 4 days now have lost their ability to utilize their computers. They were attacked, they don't really know how, or at least in the last newspaper article, they weren't sure
It was on
what had
MUR this
caused it.
morning. It was on MUR this morning.
Was it? Yeah. And so just know that those things, it can happen out there. And I don't think this is actually the first time Stratford's gone through something like this for some reason.
But it was like all their campus,
Yeah, I mean,
including
like-
their jail, their nursing home,
Yeah,
their
paper
county
documents
attorneys,
flying everywhere right now. Trees are dying right and left because
Yeah.
they have to record everything, especially at the nursing home. They have to have all that documented one way or the other. Oh my God. So
So it is just their computer system, but not their communication system,
their phones were not down that
Okay.
I'm aware of.
and their radios?
Oh wait, no, the phones were down too.
Okay.
Their phones were down too.
Yeah,
And
and it says the
and they,
best
but they
way
were
to get in
using,
touch
because
with
they
them right
had
now is to come
walkie-talkies.
in.
They had walkie-talkies going and, yeah, I mean, it was like a whole system that they had to set up.
So in the jail, there's so many things in there that are automated.
Every lock in there has a key.
Okay.
Yeah, we've actually had
But security
situations.
system, the cameras wouldn't be working though.
Correct. On some levels, that would be correct. They would staff up, they would do what they needed to do to
That's
get through the
awful.
phones, yeah. That's
So-
why we're working hard. Well,
Chris?
yeah, go ahead, Doug.
Just for the commissioners to know, and maybe others, with Steve Perrin's help, probably 6 months ago, we went through an exercise where all my department heads needed to prepare a contingency plan for, I think, the hypothetical scenario if everything went down, essentially like Stratford, as you're talking about, for a 2-week period. And how would we do that? And preparing the paper, and a lot of it does involve switching over to paper and then catching up later on data entry. But we went through that across all the departments in the jail as a preparation exercise. Hopefully we don't ever need it, but we did do that.
In that instance, would our cameras go dark?
Yeah, they could.
Wow.
Thank you. I know that prep was probably a lot of work.
Yeah, it was. It's easy to go into denial and say, oh, it'll never happen. And Rob Hummel does such a great job with cybersecurity, which he does. And I think we do a lot of good staff education and prevention around good practices in our county. When you like to think it wouldn't happen, but better to go through, a few hours of work and be prepared than be caught blindsided.
Thank you. That's a lot of work.
Thank you, Doug. We had a staff meeting last week, talked about a lot of things, talked about our DC trip, we talked about the concerns of many unknowns financially as we move forward, to really watch your bottom lines as we move forward. Doesn't mean we don't do projects, it doesn't mean we don't, move forward with whatever that we're doing within the budget, but it also means that they need to understand that we don't know what the end of the year is gonna look like, and that we need to be definitely at the end of the year. This doesn't happen, but I've been on other boards in my life where some of this stuff has happened, where it's a spend down at the end of the year. But so we're just making sure people understand that at the end of the year, if you have monies that you haven't used, then
They're gonna be absorbed by the host.
Yeah, us. So they understood that. It was a good conversation, and but I wanted to right away, instead of in June or July or August, I wanted them to start thinking about it now, because there's so many unknowns. We've tried to reach out. I'll now call directly to the Deputy Commissioner for Department of Health and Human Services at the state to really see if we can set up a time where we can meet and just have a conversation about, so we can see if we can somehow garner a better understanding of, and answer any questions that we may have pertaining to what this new look approach here could mean to Cheshire County.
Is he getting back to you?
No, and it's weird. So I'll follow up with that. I gave them until today to do that, so I'll follow up. But I just want to make you know that everybody is really starting to take a look at those things, and they're made aware of what we're up against.
And I sent an email to Susan Ryan yesterday.
Yeah.
To make sure that they're definitely including our therapies back into the calculation.
Yeah.
Because of the way that we proactively reduce them on the cost report.
Yeah. We were notified by the county manager up in Sullivan County pertaining to HRSA claiming back funding that had been given to them, given to Sullivan County of $1,141,485.
Who claimed it back?
HRSA is a government department, and if you ask me what it stands for,
It's all right.
I'd have to have Suzanne come in and tell me.
I can tell you.
So they,
Yeah. Oh, they
Health Resource and Service Administration, basically, they were the ones that managed a group of the COVID monies. It wasn't ARPA, 'cause it was
No.
pre-ARPA,
No.
and they distributed it to nursing homes. And basically, the nursing homes, we had it landed in our lap, but then you had to defend it afterwards, how you were gonna spend it, but you keep going.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was going with this, is it is not a, we're seeing I just wanna make sure you understand, it's not what we're seeing, with Doji and all that. It is, they had some questions, they don't feel they were answered. They still have the opportunity to answer those questions. And if they can't answer those questions, they need to get the $1,100,000 back.
So it's a specific
It is,
to a county as
this-
opposed to just generally trying to get the money back from everybody?
It was something that, like Cheryl said, was given out to nursing homes, around the CARES Act time.
How much did we get?
how long ago was
Have to
this?
go,
Did we get $1 million?
So,
more.
They were-
2021.
so in
2022.
21, they were given money,
Yeah,
and they either did or did not do what they were supposed to do with the money.
well, I don't know if they did or didn't do, I think they didn't
didn't
there's
do their
something
reporting.
paperwork.
They didn't do, it sounds like they didn't do their required
Right.
reporting,
Right,
which, as I said to Chris, when he's telling me this story, I'm like, oh my God, this is the stuff that keeps me up at night.
yeah,
Because you
Yeah.
think you're dotting all your i's
Yeah.
and crossing all your t's, and it's like, and according to this letter, it sounds like they've been trying to reach out to them,
and
which
it's
he,
gone,
Which them, the one
meaning
who,
Sullivan County.
HRSA. reaching out to
and Sullivan County hasn't responded?
That's what they're saying, and Sullivan County's saying, I never received anything.
So, That's awful.
For all intents and purposes, I feel like I did all the reporting that was required.
So unless they can answer the questions, they have to give back $1 million.
Yeah, so I just want to make you aware, because if you hear it,
Yeah.
it's not here,
Right,
it's
it's there,
here.
and it's specific to them.
Right, and so, and the great thing, knock on wood, when I say this, but the great thing that we've been very fortunate, and I lay this on Cheryl's feet, is that 90% of the time, when we needed documentation in, that was required, it was in. 100% of the time, 100% of the time it went in, and that was it. Whereas other counties would get back, well, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this. And a lot of counties would say, have anybody received your funding yet for this, this, or this? And it's all about getting your paperwork in for that. We would have already, like, sometimes by a month or so, have our monies in, and they were trying to figure it out. So, we're very fortunate that we always play by their rules and make sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's and getting everything in. So I'm very confident, not to say that, that everything we've done, we can show. And even when that report came out that was incredibly incorrect around when somebody put in that complaint against us with the ARPA monies. The bottom line is, you could go down there and we could say, this is what we did. This is what we did. It's not and it's like, whereas somebody else would have to say, that Corvette over there is what I bought, Well, it's a state senator in New Hampshire, that's what he bought. I didn't think he was gonna get caught, I guess, or what, I don't know. So,
No, I think they were more expensive, he bought two.
yeah,
They were more expensive.
yeah,
Lamborghini and.
yeah.
How do you show up to work with a car like that and nobody think anything of it?
Well,
I'm like, hello.
it didn't work.
What? Even your neighbors would narc.
So, just want to make you aware, if you hear that, that's where that's coming from.
So basically, we're just saying that our people are doing a good job as far as.
We're doing an outstanding job, they are.
Right.
Outstanding work,
Right.
yeah.
I'm sorry, actually, I meant it as a compliment and such.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
no, it's.
Like I said, it is stuff that keeps me up all night.
bet
God,
it
if we got
does.
that letter in the mail, I'd be like,
Ouch.
Yeah. It's, yeah, I mean, I believe that every county that tries to work like this by just, I'm always saying I'm very fortunate, I mean, you just heard from Doug. They already did the testing that they needed to do. They already did all the work they needed to do to ensure that if that ever happened, this happens all the time, whether it's Catherine, whether it's Cheryl, whether it's Doug, or Eli, whoever it is, they're always thinking ahead of what if, so very, very fortunate. Also wanted to, with the passing of the government resolution, want to make you aware that there was no funding put in there for any of the direct congressional spending requests that were from, that we had received. You're notified, but then they have to pass a budget. With that being said, so in that is $936,000 for Southwest Fire Mutual Aid. So that's not funded, but it's being rolled over into, because there is a belief that there will be a budget passed by the end of this year, because that's what that's where they've marked it for. And that there's enough senators that have enough of these type of issue, things that are concerned. So I received a notice stating that unless they hear from us otherwise, they are rolling that request into the next funding request. So the $936,000 has not gone away. It just is waiting for a vote. And so I didn't send an email back one way or the other, because it's only if you wanted to take it off or do something different. And so I just want to make you aware. So that would be that would all be rolled, the 2025 request would be rolled into the 2026
Which
request.
starts when?
When they get a bill, a budget. So supposedly, that's what they're gonna be working on towards that, you know.
July.
And, yeah, we'll see.
So what effect does that have on the overall project?
It really doesn't, the great thing about this project is that it doesn't, we already have 1.2 million, so that in itself can start, that portion of that can already start. And that's gonna take, this is gonna take years to do. In the meantime, I'm working with Governor Ayotte's chief of staff to set up a meeting with the chief of staff. I don't know if I have to really do the governor. I mean, I could probably, but with the chief of staff to talk about 2 funding streams I'd like to go after for more money. And one of them is, of course, I've talked about this before, the state of New Hampshire received $149 million for the last mile upgrades that they needed to do throughout New Hampshire. And there's a plan that's been being worked on forever. And every 2 months I give a call to the individual that sort of oversees the people that are making these decisions. And I always say, it's like, Chris, and it's like, hey Chase. And I always say, you know, where's it stand? And so it should be that they have a plan in place by no later than June, but it could be before that. And they're already saying that they're not gonna use all the money. This is a telecommunication issue. That's my argument. They already have the document in hand, the short version of our presentation. So I'm gonna be asking for 2 million. If I get $1 million, great, but I'm gonna be asking for 2 million because I always go high. And if I get 2 million, then we're done. That's one stream. Then there's another stream on your phone bill, your cell phone bill or whatever. You see that there's a thing down there that monies go towards upgrades of the mutual aid systems and things like that. It's a fund that's hardly ever used for mutual aid. 9 times out of 10, the legislature goes in and utilizes it for funding for state police. And so I've got the name of the person, and I'm going to see if we can, on behalf of not just me, but also the capital region, see if we can go after monies in that pile of money. It may be that I have to have a legislative person, you know, put an amendment in, but there's monies there. And I don't know why we can't use it, even if it's $500,000. I'll ask for 1.5 million and see if I can. So you just gotta keep asking, and you gotta just put it out there. And so those are the ways, because at the end of the day, if we can come close to the 4.8 million, and that the users at the other end, the towns that are already paying, don't have to have any increase, and that we've upgraded the system, it's a win for us. That's our hope. So that's what we're looking at. We just gotta line everything up, but it's gonna take time. And I said this to everybody, it's gonna take time. But at the end of the day, if we do it right, we'll nail it down. Right now, on the Vermont side, because Southwest Fire Mutual Aid has 36 towns in Vermont that they oversee. And they're doing a listening, the state of Vermont is doing a listening session for upgrades on the mutual aid system. So we're working with the fire chiefs to make sure they're speaking up for the 1.3 million that needs to be on the Vermont side upgrades. So we're getting there slowly.
So that when it's finally done, that it's not obsolete.
Yeah. By the time we're done, it's
Price
like,
is double.
we're gonna, and I,
We got new
want the rent,
technology.
right?
and I don't care.
Right, not only is it obsolete, but the price doubled while we were trying to
Yeah,
figure this
yeah,
out.
right.
Yeah, actually, just going back to the HRSA, we received a total of $1,049,542. And just in my summary, I have it summarized when we had to have each tranche spent and when when it was reported. And it wasn't even just a matter of reporting to HRSA those payments. You had to report all the funding that was coming in because we received money from the Gopher, which is the state allocation. And then we also received a bunch of money from the state allocation for healthcare stipends to pay back to our employees at the nursing home and for the testing that was being required at the nursing home to continue testing residents and whatnot. So it wasn't, you know, the reporting was quite intense. So, but overall, we had to report out on 3.15 million of funds, but 1,049,000 was from HRSA. So I don't know what Sullivan didn't do, but
They missed the reporting of the tranche, it sounds like.
or just didn't bother. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. So,
Well, they won't do it again, will they?
Well, hopefully this doesn't happen again.
Exactly.
I would thank you for being on top of stuff like
You're
that.
welcome. I go there.
all right, I'm gonna keep on moving. Next week, I have on Tuesday at 3 o'clock, Cheryl, myself, and Chief Kramer will be meeting with the city of Keene, just to talk about where the state of ambulance service is for the city of Keene, where it stands for the county, a little catch up where things are at. She's commented about, you know, what our vision is, about our vision for county ambulance service in the future, and we have a strategic plan that's been worked on for the last 6 months. Where, you know, we still have some months to go before it's completed because it's this, you know, internal, external document. So it looks at what we do internally, but it also looks at what tomorrow brings. But we're always talking about, you know, that tomorrow Winchester could go in a different direction. Jaffrey, Troy, you know, who knows, you know, and what do we do in those situations?
Meaning, are we ready?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and you can't. What we realized, and we realized this early on, because we ramped up a few times and it didn't happen, is that you can't ramp up with the anticipation that something's gonna happen. You have to be ready to put it into gear once it does happen, which could mean overtime until we can get staff hired to bring another this and that. You know, there's all kinds of different things, but at this point, you know, this is what we're hearing. We're hearing that there is a town in a very small town, but I'm not gonna say it until it happens, that has a town service that could be, just not be able to continue on. And until we hear that, but I'd like to keep you guys aware of that. And we don't know what they would end up doing. If it's us, great. If it's somebody closer by, that's great, but we'll see how it happens. But that was brought to my attention this weekend by the chief. And then on Thursday, we're meeting the mayor. He's asked for a meeting at Fritz's, Fritz Fries. And so we'll be meeting with him, just catch him up about city things that are going on and where things are at. And county things too. I like to hear more on their side.
Well, and joint projects that we've discussed.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw that article, but there was an article that ran in the Sentinel. We can send it to you if you'd like, on Mark becoming chief. So that's good. And the Sentinel did apologize. They were overwhelmed with all the town meetings that were going on and didn't get it out as fast as we'd like, so we pressed them on it and they apologized, and that was nice.
Now, if they could get the pig route on the same day, it would be helpful also.
That's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
Ever, yeah.
No, they've already decided, you know.
What, do they mail it out now?
Yeah, they got rid of delivery routes totally. There's no more paper boys or route drivers.
Paper people, I believe.
Oh, wow, so you get it in your mail,
Yeah, they send out the mail.
so you'll never get it out.
Find
I'm
myself.
on the
Well,
roll.
you get it if you have online.
Call my own.
Yeah, online, but they always used to go to press at like 11:30,
Yeah,
but now they're going to press in the morning, so that they are getting, the papers hitting the mailbox, I mean, the post office.
Get to the
like-
post office,
like
they don't
10.
necessarily make the mailbox.
yeah, it used to be
No, no,
that,
no, it was,
it used to be that
depends on
they-
when you get your mail, but they're going to the post office at 10 o'clock in the morning, so.
you, by 9 o'clock, you had to, if you had to get back to them, you had to get it back to them by 9 o'clock, because they were starting to finalize everything to go to press.
Yeah.
That was the rule.
Yeah.
So, the other thing is I was a little, Radically Rural reached out to us the other day. And in the past, Radically Rural brings together people from all over the country, all over the state of New Hampshire and all over the region, and to talk about things that are working in other communities and how you can work with those projects. There's different tracks that you can, while you're here, and it's always changing. It can be environmental trash and all, that transfer stations. It can be about transportation. It can be about food insecurity. It can be, there's a litany of things, journalism, all kinds of different things. In the past, it was felt that by the commissioners that when we were asked by them that we could be a funder for that. I told them last year that last year was the last year after, I think it was after 3 years.
We were major sponsors for 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. And I told them last year that that was the last year. They have come back, of course, and that's fine. And I just want to make you aware of that. I can get you some of the, if you want more information about Radically Rural, I can get you that. You can also Google it and read about it. I'm not looking for a decision today, but I don't have the funding in place and wouldn't be. In the past, we've utilized pro-share funding to do so. It was like 10,000 last year.
Well, I think what we talked about last year still holds,
Yeah,
that, we stepped up to the plate for 3 years,
right,
and, it's somebody else's turn now.
yeah. I have no problem with that. I just know that I was sent this request. I know in the past, the commissioners had this something they wanted to do because they felt it's helping our community. But I also told them last year that this would be our last year.
I kind of feel like if they have an interest in asking for county funds,
An outside agency.
that it's not gonna happen, it shouldn't happen in 2025, that they would need to apply
outside.
through an outside agency
Yeah.
request and let it go through the process.
Yeah.
And
I-
so,
I think if it's all right with you, and unless you tell me otherwise, I'd like to say that the commissioners made a decision after 3 years last year, and that we would not continue. That would be the level of commitment was 3 years, and that we won't be funding this year. Though we support the program and we understand what it does and it's important, and that we may buy tickets to the 2-day. They turned downtown Keene into a conference center. And
So I'm
so,
gonna attend,
yeah, and we can get those tickets for you, but that's about all we can do.
but like last week, with the Ruck Up and we have other organizations that are
Well,
gonna be stepping
but that's
forward.
life, and this is nice.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it, I don't mean it in
Right,
a negative light,
Right,
but right now, with the way the world is right now, the economy is right now, there's gonna be more people suffering, and so we have to, my thing would be, I think Ruck Up is appropriate. After I heard what all that they're doing, more so.
Oh, I have some more information about that. They need to buy their building, the one up on the north.
It's off by Sullivan Street, in that area.
Yeah.
Night Street.
No,
Night
Upper
Street, thank you,
Upper
Night.
Night Street.
Yeah,
Isn't there a
right.
park, isn't there a park on Night Street?
There is, yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a
The,
tennis court or
Yeah.
maybe a pickleball court
Yeah.
by now.
Yeah.
That's Lower Night. I mean, that's
Lower
Lower
Night?
That's Lower Night. There's
They're
The
up.
upper and lower aren't joined, but they used to be usually.
Oh, okay, didn't know that.
They're going to be purchasing their building, and that's what the funding essentially was for, that they asked us for.
Anyways, I agree with you that Ruck-Up is more realistic use
Yeah.
of our little funding that we do have. So with Polite, I would say,
Yeah.
go look for other funding.
Yeah,
for
I mean, but
your-
in her email, she said, I know you said last year. And I'm just gonna say, yeah.
Oh, she had to ask.
Right, and I don't blame them, but I just think at this point, we have to look in a different way. So, I just wanna make sure we're all
It's
on
still
the
a
same
good
page.
program.
I agree.
It's still a good program, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's very valuable regionally. There's, anyways,
You
Okay.
need a motion or just in general?
No, just in
Okay.
general, that just gives me guidance and that's how I move
we
forward.
would if we were gonna consider it.
Okay. So is there anything else? Yeah, I'm seeing you put some numbers up. Oh,
Oh, no, it's nothing. Looking at my stuff?
yeah, I am. That's all I have, unless you have some questions for me, but you can do that in the next phase. Is there any old business? Is there new business, Cheryl?
Yes, I have some new business that, I think Terry may have experienced this since he's been commissioner, but obviously we have not. From time to time, we have to put liens on properties of a nursing home resident if things are not going necessarily well with their payment to us and/or their Medicaid application or whatnot. And this, we do have a resident at our nursing home that does have property. They have a house. They have somebody helping with the Medicaid process, but it's not going necessarily smooth. And the resident's been a bit hesitant to put the house on the market. And if you don't put your house on the market, you're not going to get approved for Medicaid. There's work being done in the background to support moving this along, but I thought it would be best that, recognizing that there is a piece of property, that we should put a lien on it so that when it does sell, if we have any debt owed to us that goes unpaid, that we get paid. And we have done this in the past and it works. It works well, and it's a non-invasive lien. I mean, years ago, we used to get a lawyer involved, and that would be, them having to put a lawsuit language together, which to me was like, wow, we're gonna actually tell, a resident in our nursing home that we're placing a lawsuit, and it's, pretty strict. But this is, we have since found that RSA 16620, which is lien on real property pursuant to RSA 16620, aid to county assisted persons, that this particular RSA allows for a lien to simply be placed on the property and recorded in the registry of deeds, so that it, when this property sells, the lawyer, whoever's working with the closing, calls us to make sure that whatever is still owed to us. So I'm not gonna put the resident's name out here in public.
No, that's fine. So it's more in the background, and do you notify or the person?
You don't have
Or do you just put it in the background and?
Just go down to the deeds.
Yeah, cause it would be stressful to know.
You don't have to.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell the resident, but I
Okay,
do
good.
know that the social worker is meeting with the grandson
Yeah.
today, who is assisting with the process.
Yeah.
And she's just gonna let him know that we're
When
doing
the
this. but it-
process is completed and they are able to get the assistance, will this lien be lifted?
Yes, so what will happen is when the house will have to be sold. That's basically, in order to get Medicaid assistance, you can't own a home and just,
Right.
you can if you have a spousal,
Right,
somebody on the,
right.
there's ways that you
No,
can.
yeah.
But if this person wants Medicaid assistance,
She
you
has to
have to
sell
sell
the
your
house,
house.
right.
You have, so long to get on
Cause
the
you're only
market.
allowed so much in assets.
Yes, so what
They
will
should have put
happen
it in a
is with
trust for their kids before they did this.
Yeah, what will
Happens
happen is
all the time.
basically
Yeah,
when
sure
the
does.
closing happens, they'll have to clear up all the liens,
Yeah,
And they'll contact us and say, what is the amount owed?
right.
Right at the moment, I've indicated the amount owed. This doesn't mean if Medicaid comes in and goes retro, this dollar amount could get much smaller.
Mhm.
But as of today, we're owed $26,774, which again, might potentially all get paid by Medicaid. But I have written up this lien that basically identifies the property, the name of the person, the book and page number of where it's currently recorded in the registry of deeds, and the amount owed to us as of this date. So if
Move
you
the
could
authorized
sign this,
finance
Gary.
director to execute the lien.
I second.
Well, your name is on it as the signature of the
So
commission.
you're
I'm
the
the
bad
bad guy.
But I will bring it over to the deeds to get it recorded.
Yeah,
We see this every so often, some many years ago, prior to me being
Thank you.
here. They had a program, they gave some level of funding towards homes, right? To upgrade,
Oh, yes, so it was not a grant
yeah, it was a grant for rehabs. And, so people took it out and then, but there was a lien
It
put
was a
on that.
5-year recapture period.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden, the family member is aging out and they want to sell the house, and so they have to come to us, and we have to just, it just takes a second or two, really, but it is something that you're gonna see on occasion.
mhm. Well, it is taxpayers' dollars,
Yeah,
so I think it's important that it's the sale of a house, it's not like we're forcing somebody out,
they've
they're
gotta
out
do it
and
anyway.
the house is gonna be sold anyway.
Yeah, and it just ensures that part of the closing, if there's equity in the
Right.
property, that's another thing too.
Right.
I'm not 100% certain the equity of the property, that we will have a check written as part
Well,
of the
we may
closing.
not get primary.
We may
Right.
not, because I
Yeah.
do believe that there's a mortgage and potentially a line of credit, but and it doesn't sound like the house is in all that great condition, but this will do what we can, because the minute Medicaid gets approved, they're gonna have their lien on it.
Mhm.
And we wanna get on before they do,
Yeah,
because they
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
take precedence
They
over
will.
us.
Just another good business practice, right?
Yeah, and I
And
appreciate having found this simple process,
Yeah.
because it used to be not only a lot of work, but just to even have to spend the money to engage a lawyer to do the work for us, so this has been successful.
great.
And just, something I didn't mention, but you should be aware of, Concord right now with the budget process where it's at, what we're hearing is it's about a $500 million difference between where they need to be and where they are currently. And that $500 million doesn't include funding for the prison up in Berlin or funding for the Sununu Center's lawsuits. That's another $300 million, which equals out to $800 million that they're still needing to come up with.
Are they maybe they could rehouse their inmates down here and we can charge rent.
Isn't that the
Don't
women's?
tempt me.
Double
Isn't
the
there
federal.
construction for the
Exactly.
women's?
Called rehoming.
They have to do that.
And I didn't hear that.
They
You
have
get
to
a
do that.
rehoming fee, just like pets.
I saw the headline.
They'd have to pay us a really, really large fee.
Yeah,
Well, that's a big challenge for them.
yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Well, it
Yeah.
is because both of those are driven by lawsuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
how can you ignore it if you actually,
can't.
I mean, you older,
I have
you
no
older
idea.
people, and
I have no idea on why they left the 300 million out, but there's still a 500 on top of that. And so, the reason I say that is a lot of times what that means is somehow that's gonna mean it's gonna
Comes down.
trickle down to us.
Right, we're gonna get less,
Yeah,
because they
and-
have to address those.
Right, and on Monday, I meet with Margaret Burns, who is the executive director for the New Hampshire Municipal Association, and the head of the NEA, so that we can talk about these type of things, so that we can start planning how we can educate people in moving forward on some of these bigger issues, state or federal wise, and what it means. So, I mean, it does work if we start educating people and making them aware. It makes them think at least a little bit about it. So that's again all I have. Any other new business? Seeing none, can we have a motion for the consent agenda items to accept the weekly manifest and minutes of March 12th, 2024?
2025.
So moved.
20.
Second?
Yeah.
March 24th, we're not there
2025.
yet.
I told you they're on top of it.
I know. So, seconded.
All right, any questions or changes? Seeing none, Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
Commissioner DiBernardo?
Yes.
All right, calendars, any changes?
No changes, we're at the DOC next week.
Okay. General discussion, nothing, so a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Okay, Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart,
yes.
Commissioner DiBernardo.
Yes, I would like to apologize for being late this morning.
Life happens.